Right. Let's unpack this. Have you ever walked into, say, a high-tech control room, maybe a busy shop, or even like a futuristic art gallery?
Hmm.
And you see those massive screens, those big video walls, and just wonder, how on earth are they making that look so incredible?
Yeah, it's pretty seamless sometimes.
Exactly. Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into one specific piece of tech that's often the unsung hero behind those visuals.
Okay.
It's the WolfPack Seamless 4K 60 hertz 4x12 video wall controller with a 4-window multiviewer. Quite a mouthful.
It is, yeah. Packs a lot in the name.
So for this, we're basically drawing straight from the source, the manufacturer's own details, product description, feature lists, all the tech specs.
The official info.
Right. And our mission here is really just to cut through the jargon, figure out what this powerful AV box really
And
does.
why it matters.
Exactly. And uncover why its specific features are so crucial for making those, really stunning and functional display setups you see everywhere.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is how just one device, one box, can actually orchestrate such complex visuals.
Right.
It's really solving these big challenges of like scale and quality and doing it all in real time, which otherwise would seem almost, well, impossible.
Like the conductor of an orchestra, sort of?
Yeah, a visual orchestra. Think of it as the central nervous system for some really sophisticated visual communication.
Okay, so digging into this device then, it becomes clear pretty quickly it's not just doing one thing, is it?
No, not at all.
It seems like it wears two very important hats in the world of video processing.
Yeah.
How would you describe those main jobs?
That's a great way to put it. It definitely wears two hats, both really powerful.
Mm.
First, it acts as a video wall splicing processor.
It's a splicing process.
Oh, yeah. So this means you can take, say, one single high-resolution video input, maybe a huge data dashboard or like an immersive panoramic video.
Right.
And this device intelligently splits and scales that one image across multiple screens, up to 12 in this case.
12 displays from one source. Wow.
Exactly. It effectively turns a whole bunch of individual screens into one giant sort of cohesive picture. Makes it look totally seamless across the whole wall.
Okay, that makes perfect sense for those huge unified displays. But you mentioned a second hat. What's the other role?
Right, the other hat. And this is where arguably its flexibility really, really shines. It also works as a seamless switching matrix switcher.
Okay, matrix switcher. Different from splicing.
Very different. Here, instead of taking one input and spreading it out, it manages multiple independent video sources, up to 4 of them.
4 different inputs.
Yeah, so you could have, say, 4 different camera feeds or 4 presentations running, and you can direct any one of those 4 inputs to any of the 12 outputs.
Ah, so any input to any output.
Exactly. And the key part, as the name kind of suggests, is the seamless bit. It does this switching instantly. Smooth transitions, no visual glitches or black screens.
That seems like a really crucial difference, not just getting pictures up, but managing different information flows. So looking at the bigger picture, how does having both those functions, the splicing and the matrix switching, how does that help people designing these systems?
Well, it gives them immense flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it for almost any kind of high-stakes visual environment you can think of.
Like,
Well, imagine like a busy airport information display. You need to cycle smoothly between flight details, maybe some advertising,
right.
or think about critical command centers. You've got multiple data feeds, cameras, sensors, maps. They all need to be instantly viewable, maybe side by side sometime.
Okay.
This dual power just ensures that you, the person watching or operating it, get complex visual information presented clearly, dynamically. It avoids that, information overload you can get from messy displays.
Yeah, keeps it clean and focused.
It really adapts to what you need to see right at that moment.
Absolutely. And that seamless part of the name, it's not just marketing fluff, is it? It points straight to the high performance.
Definitely not fluff. It's critical.
We're talking super sharp, detailed pictures, really smooth motion, which is vital if you've got fast-moving video or interactive stuff. The headline feature here is 4K 60 hertz resolution. Now, most of us know 4K from our TVs at home, but what's the challenge in delivering that quality not just to one screen, but maybe 12, and keeping it smooth at 60 frames per second? And seamless.
Yeah, that's where the real engineering challenge comes in. I mean, a single 4K stream at 60 hertz is demanding enough, right?
For sure.
But multiplying that signal, sending it to potentially 12 displays, and making sure every single frame is perfectly synchronized across all of them with no lag, no signal loss.
Yeah.
It's a huge data management task.
Sounds complex.
It is, and that's why the specs mention 18 Gbps video bandwidth. Think of it like a massive digital pipe or a superhighway for the video data.
Okay.
It needs that huge capacity to handle the sheer volume of data, potentially 12 4K 60Hz streams simultaneously, without compressing it or losing quality.
So the picture stays totally pure.
Exactly, just as it was intended. No drop pixels, no artifacts, pure signal fidelity.
Got it. So it's about maintaining that quality, even at a massive scale. And it's compliant with HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2. Now, HDMI 2.0, that's the standard that actually makes 4K at 60 frames possible, right?
That's the one, yeah. The necessary standard.
But HDCP 2.2, what's the deal with that? Why is that so important for modern setups?
HDCP 2.2 is absolutely non-negotiable these days if you want to show protected content.
Like movies and stuff.
Exactly. Think Blu-rays, streaming services like Netflix or Disney Plus, even some cable or satellite boxes. They use HDCP 2.2 to prevent unauthorized copying.
Ah, the copy protection.
Right. So if your video wall controller or any part of the chain doesn't support HDCP 2.2, that premium content just won't play, or it'll get downgraded to a lower resolution.
Okay, so no HDCP 2.2, no Hollywood blockbusters on your fancy video wall.
Pretty much, yeah. It's that digital handshake that allows protected content to be displayed securely. This device ensures that handshake happens perfectly across all the outputs.
All right, so we've got the amazing visual quality covered, the security for content. But what about the actual experience of using it, especially when you're switching between those different sources, those four inputs? That's where the seamless switching really matters. Sure.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic point because seamless sounds simple, but achieving it reliably is a huge technical feat.
How so?
Well, think about that control room example again. If you switch sources and there's even a half-second black screen or a flicker,
Annoying, maybe.
it's more than annoying. It can cause cognitive fatigue for the operator, break your concentration. In a critical situation, it could even hide an important alert that pops up during the switch.
Ah, okay, I see. It's not just about looking smooth.
Exactly. This feature isn't just about avoiding a black screen. It's about perfectly synchronizing the video frames between the outgoing source and the incoming one.
So no tearing or freezing.
None. No visual tearing, no momentary freeze frame, nothing. And it has to do this reliably, even when the system is under load. It reduces the time it takes to make decisions, lowers the mental strain on operators.
So they can just focus on the actual information.
Precisely. It directly impacts reaction times, safety, efficiency. It's not just smooth, it's efficient information delivery. Makes the whole presentation feel totally professional and, well, uninterrupted.
Okay, so we've nailed the visual power, the seamless operation, but what about getting creative? Making displays that really stand out, maybe even a bit unusual.
Ah, yeah. This is where the WolfPack controller shifts gear a bit from just being powerful to being like an artistic toolkit. Has some really neat creative controls.
Okay, so when we talk about sort of breaking the mold with display setups, what's one feature that jumps out at you?
For me, personally, I think the multiviewer functionality is pretty huge.
Multiviewer, so multiple views.
Exactly. Imagine that security command center again. Instead of just showing one camera full screen, you could have 4 critical camera feeds side by side on a single monitor.
Or across the whole wall.
Or even spread across the entire video wall, yeah. Maybe quadrant view, picture-in-picture. Lots of options. It fundamentally changes how you interact with complex information.
Like comparing things easily.
Right. Comparative analysis at a glance. It's massive for things like spotting anomalies faster or correlating different data points. Really indispensable in monitoring scenarios.
Makes total sense for monitoring. Then there's something called 180-degree rotation support. That sounds a bit specific.
It might sound niche, yeah, but it unlocks some really unique design possibilities. Think about digital signage in retail, or maybe a museum exhibit.
Okay.
Sometimes you want displays oriented vertically in portrait mode instead of the usual landscape.
Ah, like those tall, skinny screens you see sometimes?
Exactly. Without this rotation feature built in, trying to display standard content correctly on a portrait screen is a massive headache. You'd be stretching images or needing special software.
Right, it would look weird.
Totally. This feature just handles the digital rotation internally. So if you design a cool portrait video wall for, say, a fashion store or an art installation, it just works.
Yeah.
The content adapts perfectly.
So it makes those creative vertical displays much easier to implement.
Much easier. I remember working on a museum project, actually, where they had these tall, narrow architectural columns.
Okay.
And they wanted to wrap a continuous video story around them. The 180-degree rotation let us take content designed horizontally and adapt it seamlessly to fit those vertical columns. It created this amazing immersive effect.
Wow, that's a great example. It really shows how a specific feature enables new creative ideas.
Definitely.
Okay, and what about sound? Because with 12 video outputs, the audio often needs to go somewhere else entirely, right?
Oh, absolutely. You rarely want the sound coming just from the screens themselves in a big setup. That's where the audio de-embedding function comes in.
De-embedding, taking the audio out.
Precisely. It separates the audio stream from the HDMI video signal. And crucially, it has what they call a breakaway audio extractor and switcher.
Breakaway.
Yeah, it means you can route that extracted audio completely independently, send it to a dedicated amplifier and speaker system, maybe in a different zone, totally separate from where the video is going.
Ah, so video on the wall, audio through the main PA system, for instance.
Exactly. Or different audio to different zones, even if they're showing the same video. Huge flexibility for sound design.
Very useful. And I also saw it offers auto and user-defined output resolution. Why is that important? Isn't it usually just 4K out?
Ideally, yes, but you don't always connect to perfect 4K displays. You might be integrating with older monitors or maybe specific types of LED panels that have slightly non-standard native resolutions.
Right, LED walls can be tricky.
Very. So this feature lets you precisely control the output signal's resolution to perfectly match the native resolution of whatever display you're connecting to. Auto tries to do it automatically, but user-defined gives you manual pixel-perfect control.
Ensures the sharpest possible image, no matter the screen.
Exactly. Pixel-perfect delivery, essential for professional results.
And for those big video walls made of multiple screens, you always have those physical frames, the bezels between them. How does this deal with that visual break?
Ah, yes, the bezel problem. That's where the comprehensive splicing display function with bezel compensation is absolutely crucial.
Bezel compensation. Sounds important.
It is. Without it, those black or silver lines, the physical bezels between the screens, would create noticeable gaps in your overall image. It breaks the illusion of one big canvas.
Yeah, it can look quite disjointed.
Right. So bezel compensation digitally adjusts the image on each screen. It slightly expands or shrinks the image sections so that they visually jump across the bezel gap.
So it tricks your eye into seeing a continuous picture.
Essentially, yes. It makes the overall image appear much more seamless and continuous, hiding the physical structure of the wall and preserving the integrity of your content.
Clever. And lastly, it mentions two synchronization modes, general and sync delay. What are those for, briefly?
Those allow for really fine-tuning the timing across all the outputs, making sure every screen is perfectly aligned, especially important for fast motion or complex setups to avoid any visual tearing or lag between panels.
So this really raises a question. How do you actually create those truly immersive, really informative visual environments? It seems like features like bezel compensation and multiview, they go way beyond just, putting a picture on a screen.
They absolutely do.
They allow for really thoughtful, intentional design, right? Using all those inputs and outputs to tell a richer story or show more data clearly.
Exactly. It's about crafting an experience, not just displaying an image. It's the art and science of display design coming together.
These aren't just tech specs, they're like creative tools.
They really are creative enablers. They give designers the tools they need to overcome physical limits, like bezels, and craft these really engaging, informative visual narratives, whether that's for ads or public info or critical monitoring.
Okay, so with a device this sophisticated, you obviously need good ways to control it.
Definitely.
And the WolfPack controller seems to offer quite a few options. You've got the front panel buttons right there on the box.
Yep, for direct, hands-on control. Handy for quick local adjustments.
Then there's an IR remote control for convenience, I guess, from a distance.
Simple remote operation.
And for the more pro setups, it integrates via RS-232. That's for linking with big control systems.
Exactly, like Crestron, AMX, those kinds of systems. Standard for Pro AV.
And then for network control, it supports LAN and even a web GUI. So you can control it over the network, even through a browser.
Correct. LAN for direct network commands, and the web GUI gives you a graphical interface accessible from any browser on the same network. Makes remote management much easier.
So with all these options buttons, IR, RS-232, LAN, web GUI, that's a lot of flexibility.
Huge flexibility.
But does having so many ways to control it ever cause issues? Like maybe it's complex to set up or someone could accidentally change something.
That's a very sharp point, actually. Yes, while the range of control is a major plus for pros, it means you need precision in how you implement it.
How so?
Well, You probably wouldn't want someone potentially messing with critical display settings using the simple IR remote during a live event, right?
No, definitely not.
Whereas network control, or RS-232 through a lockdown system, offers much more security and oversight. So it's really about choosing and configuring the right control method for the job.
Requires some planning during the design phase.
Absolutely. But that array of control methods really underlines that this is built for professional installs. It's designed to slot into larger systems, like smart building controls or big command centers. It gives the system admins the choice to manage it in the most efficient way for their specific setup, whether they're standing right next to it or managing it remotely from miles away.
Okay, let's quickly touch on the fine print, the specs. They definitely confirm this is a serious piece of kit.
Mm-hmm. Built like a tank, usually.
In terms of connectivity, it's got 4 HDMI Type A inputs and a pretty impressive 12 HDMI Type A outputs.
That 4x12 is a key feature.
And for audio out, there's that combined 1X LR2 Slink 3.5 millimeter mini jack. Control ports are the RS-232 and LAN we just mentioned.
Standard Pro connection.
Physically, yeah, it's in a sturdy metal box, black. Dimensions are 430 millimeter wide, 220 millimeter deep, 44 millimeter high. Looks like a standard rack unit size, maybe.
Yeah, 1U rack-mountable, typically.
Weighs 5 kilograms, so it's got some heft. Runs on standard mains power, 110, 240 volts. Uses up to 65 watts. And the operating temps, 0 to 40 Celsius, storage down to -20. Humidity specs, too. What did these physical details tell you?
They tell you it's not a toy. These aren't just random numbers. They signal professional intent. That metal case, the temperature ranges, the weight, it all points to a device built for continuous, reliable operation in potentially tough environments, like an equipment rack room, not someone's living room.
Built for stability where failure isn't really an option.
Exactly. It gives you confidence as the integrator or the end user that this is a properly engineered tool meant to last.
And the brand itself, WolfPack, it's a trademark of HDTV Supply, Inc. And they're not new to the game, are they?
No, HDTV Supply has been around a while.
Yeah, certified since 2003, 24 years in business, apparently.
Yeah.
Global provider of AV gear. They've got recognition like exceptional, top-quality store rated by Google Shopping, and they're an HDBaseT.org approved adopter.
Those affiliations matter.
Yeah.
HD-based adoption, for instance, shows they're engaged with key industry standards.
So it adds a layer of confidence in the company behind the product.
Definitely. Their track record, the certifications, it suggests a commitment to quality control and support, which is vital when you're investing in infrastructure like this.
Okay, and commercially, the price is listed at $2,000. Comes with a 1-year warranty, 5-7-day delivery. These are the practical details businesses need, right?
Absolutely. Warranty, lead time, price point, all crucial for project planning and budgeting in the pro AV world. It confirms it's positioned as a professional-grade solution.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what does this actually mean for you, the listener, in the real world? Where would you actually see or need a device like this? The uses seem really broad.
They are incredibly varied, yeah. But you can point to some key areas where this tech makes a huge difference.
Like where?
Well, think back to control rooms or security monitoring centers. That's a prime example.
Why specifically?
Because the seamless switching and the multi-viewer features are just essential there. You need to see multiple camera feeds, maybe network maps, sensor data, all at once and switch between them instantly without any glitches. Lives could depend on it.
Okay, critical applications. What about more public-facing stuff, like in shops?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Digital signage and advertising. Think large video walls in shopping malls, airports, train stations.
Right, you see those everywhere.
This controller is what drives those dynamic high-res displays. It lets them schedule complex content layouts, have smooth transitions, maybe show targeted ads alongside information. It's all about grabbing attention and engaging people.
Makes sense. I can also see it being really useful in meeting rooms or lecture halls.
Oh, indispensable. Conference rooms and auditoriums.
Yeah.
Managing multiple laptops, maybe a document camera, video conferencing feeds.
Yeah, the nightmare of switching inputs.
Exactly. This makes it smooth and professional. Routing any source to the main projector or side screens without those awkward black screens or sync delays.
Yeah.
And think about sports bars or entertainment venues.
Ah, yeah, multiple games on multiple screens.
Precisely. Displaying several different games or events at the same time across a whole wall of TVs. And maybe sending the audio for the big game to the main speakers while other TVs are silent or have local sound. That independent audio routing is key there.
Totally transforms the experience for fans.
It really does. And even in the most demanding places like broadcast studios or live production environments.
They'd use this too.
For sure. Maybe for monitoring multiple camera feeds in the control room, or for creating complex multi-source graphics that go live on air, reliability and seamless performance are paramount there.
So really, all those features we talked about, the 4K 60, seamless switching, multi-view, bezel compensation, the rotation, they directly solve real problems in all these different places.
Exactly. They enable robust, flexible, and visually impressive display solutions tailored to very specific, often high-stakes needs.
This raises a really interesting point. When you consider the future of how we communicate visually, devices like this WolfPack controller, they seem almost foundational, don't they?
They really are. They're the engine enabling these increasingly complex visual systems.
They empower designers and users to create these really effective systems that can change and adapt as information needs evolve and create truly immersive experiences, however complex the setup is.
Yeah, they're kind of the silent orchestrators behind our increasingly visual world. It really highlights how specialized tech transforms how we see and interact with information.
Right. Behind every one of those impressive video walls or multi-screen setups, there's this kind of carefully engineered solution doing the hard work.
Meticulously designed for precision, performance, and reliability.
Okay, and that just about wraps up our deep dive into the WolfPack Seamless 4K 60Hz 4x12 video wall controller with its 4-window multiviewer. We've basically seen today how one pretty sophisticated box makes these complex, high-res, multi-screen setups not just possible, but actually seamless and manageable.
Yeah, and maybe something for you to think about.
Yeah.
Consider how this level of flexibility and control might keep changing our public spaces. Could we see architecture become even more dynamic? Walls that seamlessly shift between being an ad display 1 minute, a piece of digital art the next, and then a real-time information board.
That's a cool thought. Walls that change their function.
What new ways of showing information or creating experiences could that unlock for you, for all of us, in the future?
Definitely food for thought. So keep an eye out for those invisible technologies, the ones quietly shaping our visual world. Because once you know what you're looking for, you'll probably start seeing them, or at least their effects,